So I'm on the edge of the military section and going into the gardens. You've still got a bit of military going on here. But as you can see, we start the gardens because rhododendrons here, lovely white flowers in the middle. And as you can see all those yew trees in the distance, that is the start of the ornamental lily pond. Even though some people call it a swimming pool, it's not. There are photographic proof to say that it was designed for Lord Wavertree, and a lovely picture of it too, which I'll put on at a later stage. So I'm going to see if I can get through the undergrowth and hopefully get into that area over there to show you what's in there. So I've come through that side. There's all the fir trees which were box hedging originally. You can see it now forms like an arboretum. And now you're really going to have to use your imagination because of wildlife. So behind all of this was once a beautiful ornate lily pond. Yeah, you're really going to have to think about this one. So I'm at the edge of it. You can see just about, hopefully, there's some steps going down. So I don't know how deep it was, maybe 5-6 foot possibly. And it goes all the way over to the distance there. I will scramble my way through so I can show you what's the other side. I've just cut my way through that section. Luckily I always come down with loppers with me because you always need them. This is actually the far end of the pond, but you can see a bit more of the actual landscaping now. Little stone walls here. Go a bit further up. An actual step. There we go. Can you hear that? I think that's a buzzard actually. That's calling to us. So let's go down here. Bear with me while I'm walking. Bit squelchy. So this is the top end of the actual pond. Now I came down here probably April time, and you could see this really clearly, but not now because it's summertime. So I will do it again in the springtime properly, so you can see. And I'm just going to walk up there, and you can see a bit more of the wall. But it was a really beautiful double staircase there. There's part of it still there. Actually, the slabs of the steps are stacked up over there. It's a bit strange. So I climbed the rubble, which you can't see, which is in the middle. And the other side of there is the ornamental lake, which has still got some sort of aquatic plants in there, actual, you know, proper ones as opposed to weeds. So let me go back up here. I say it's quite pretty, despite everything. So let me get a bit further. The duck and everything. You can now see the wall of it, she says. Let's get a bit closer. So that's the start of the wall, which goes all the way down. Now, obviously, a few months ago, before all this was here, you could walk through quite easily. And in the centre of it is still part of the staircase that would have gone up to the top. I'll post a picture of what it was like, because it was really beautiful. And the picture itself is quite curious because your eye's drawn to the pond. You go, okay, there's a pond, there's a beautiful double staircase. And then when you actually zoom into the picture, you notice there's a gentleman sat at the base of the stairs with his dog. And that gentleman is actually Lord Wavertree. Did some Googling and it was definitely him. And apparently at the base of these steps, somewhere underneath all of that, is a capsule, a glass capsule with all the names of the people that worked on the hall, who obviously probably built this. I would imagine Lord Wavertree actually commissioned the rock garden as well, which was classed as a Japanese garden, which makes sense because there's a lot of bamboo down there as well. Possibly something to do with the Japanese knotweed, but possibly not. It's just one of those things, unfortunately, with Japanese knotweed. It just comes from nowhere. Yeah, so I'll show a picture at the start of this vid. So, because at the moment you're just going to go, oh, well, Marie, you're just showing us foliage and little bits of stone. What on earth does it mean? So I will do that so you can understand what on earth I'm going on about. And like I say, in the springtime, you could see a lot more of that, and I got very giddy because I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I can find. And the steps are there. There's rubble, obviously there's rubble everywhere, because in the centre of it was sort of like an alcove with two niches either side, and when you got to the top of the steps went down the other side, and then the pond is through there. I don't think I'll be able to get through that today because of, well, you can see what I can see, but I'll show you another day. So I've just come from the other side. I've just cut my way through with my loppers, getting rid of some of the dead wood as I've gone. So that's one corner. I've just been at the top there, and as I walked round, I remembered that, well, a few months ago, when I was trying to discover things, I scraped away the top edge of the pond, which is here. And as you can see, here's my lovely trowel. And I thought, well, the steps, and here they are. I thought, let's give it a go, because they're mostly covered in ivy. So I dragged everything off, scraped away, and here they are. Here's the steps. So I'm in the pond. There we go. Lots of greenery and stuff, which wouldn't have been here originally. Now, I don't know if these steps were put here as a maintenance thing for the pond. You know, a few people refer to it as a swimming pool. Now, were these put in afterwards, you know, as in, you know, circa 1934, for the army people to use it as a swimming pool, because it's obviously deep enough. So how tall am I? I'm 5'2", so maybe 6 foot in total if you get rid of all this mulch from underneath it. So it could have been used as a swimming pool later. I'm not sure, but it's still very sound, and they're still here. And there's a buzzard that's been following me around, and they're still over there somewhere. But it's quite nice to unearth more things, isn't it? So I will continue my wanderings today. I will probably have to go a different way because, as I said before, the Japanese knotweed is now everywhere. So, but this is, even though it's not what it used to be, it's still very beautiful and very pretty. But it would have been nice to get it back to what it was.